Hello again, it's Debbie from acrylicpouring.com, and today I'm carrying out another experiment. In some previous videos you saw one where I talked about creating some paints of my own with some old soap making colorants that I had. I got some micas left over from when I used to make soap a long time ago, and so what I did was create some of my own paints with the micas. And then in another video I gave them a little test on this mini canvas. And as you can see, they're very metallic, very sparkly, and I regretted doing it on such a small canvas. So now I want to do a much larger one and give it another try. However, what I found with the paints, what I had done was just mixed my sparkle micas with some Floetrol, and although it was really good and it didn't move too much, they were really quite thin. So I thought, what can I mix it with that might make it just that little bit thicker? And so what I've done this time is I've mixed around 50-50 between Floetrol and the PVA glue, and then I've mixed in my micas, and that has made them a little thicker than they were. But what I've noticed is it's lost some of the intensity of colour, especially in the blue. The blue was very deep and sparkly, and the gold was very sparkly. And these two colours especially don't look quite the same anymore. These other ones, they do pretty much look the same, but the gold and the blue seem to have lost their sparkle. Now I know the sparkle is still in there because it's the exact same mica as it was, but I think by mixing it with the Floetrol and this time the PVA slightly changed the colour and hidden the sparkle. But what I'm hoping is when it dries, the PVA will become clear, as will the Floetrol, and everything will turn out more like this one again. However, time will tell on that. So what I'm going to do is just clear my workspace a little bit, push my paints to one side, and I'm going to pour on a record today. So I've just covered the hole in the centre of the record here, and I've cleaned the whole surface off with alcohol. And I thought what I will do, because I had good success with a dirty pour with this one, I'm just going to try and do exactly the same. This time I've got more colours. Last time I only had, I think, the copper, the merlot and the gold. This time I'm adding in the cappuccino and the sparkle blue, so maybe it'll just be too much and it'll be a whole big mess, but I figured it's just a record, so it will be easy for me to scrape it and clean it if it turns out that I don't like it. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of everything in the cup. So just to confirm what I've got, the sparkle micas, they were all mixed up, just the mica along with a 50-50 mix of PVA glue. Oh dear, these little cups with the lip, they're not very good. PVA glue and Floetrol, and then they've all got 2 or 3 drops of the silicone in them, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to try and mix up some lighter colours and some darker colours. I'm never really sure how much paint I need. I had just about the right amount on my little mini canvas last time, so it'd be nice if I could just pour out onto the record without having to worry too much about tilting it, because sometimes, you know, if something really nice happens and then you don't have enough paint and you have to tilt, then something that you really like the look of suddenly gets tilted off the side, and that's always a shame, isn't it? So let me keep adding a few more colours. I can see lots of interesting shapes and colours and things going on in the cup. So let me keep on with this. I'm really not sure how much I need, but hey. This blue, whether the blue will work out, who knows? Let's add all that blue in there, because the other colours are quite dark. So I'm going to scrape that and get every little bit of blue. Blue is my favourite colour. Every colour of blue is my favourite colour. So you'll probably be seeing an awful lot of blue paintings from me in the future, because that's really what I like. Okay, a bit more of the black and some gold, and I think I'll call it a day. And then I've got a little bit left of my colours in these cups in the event that I hopefully don't have to cover up anything around the edges. So here we are in the cup, looking very nice, and I'm going to give it a flip. So put it kind of central, and now I'm just going to wait, because I want all of these colours to drip down from the inside of the cup and mix together, and hopefully that will give us some interesting shapes and cells. So if I just move these cups out the way now, so that I'm not going to make, if I do have to pour, that I won't make a mess by pouring into these cups. I'll wipe there, and let's give it a tap. Make sure any drips are dripping down in. Oh, this is always a nervous moment, isn't it? Is it going to be a complete waste, or is it going to look good? Well, it's a bit of Floetrol, it's a bit of PVA, all of the micas were free, the record was free, so in the end it's not going to be too much of a disaster if it doesn't turn out well. Okay, fingers crossed, let's go for it. Oh, it's heavenly. Okay, I'm very happy already. These mica paints, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I don't want to do anything. Oh, I really don't have quite enough, do I? I'm going to have to move it. Definitely going to have to move it. What if I pour the rest in here and try and do a little bit around the side so I don't have to pour too much? Right, they're all going in. They're all going into my cup. I'm going to use up every little bit. Anyway, as I wait patiently, this is going to spread out a little more anyway, so I may not end up having to add too much around the sides. We'll see, but I'll have this ready, and in the event that I don't use it, I will use it on something else. Always a little bit. I don't want to miss a single drop of this gorgeous paint. So now I may have to go back and buy more paint supplies. Who would have thought, hey? Sorry, more soap supplies, because these micas, absolutely fabulous. And the last little bit of black, throw that in there. Okay, so while I've been working on adding some more paint, it has been flowing around anyway, and it's got a lot closer. The cells have got larger and spread out, and the glitter in this, just mind-blowing. So I will try and give it just a little tip. I don't want to lose too much of all this gorgeousness. I'm just going to do it very slowly and see how far I can make this go without losing too much. Okay, that's good. I don't want to distort my shapes too much because I'm so happy with it as it came straight out. Got a lovely little bit just here, so I do want to keep some of that if I can. Just gonna get it right to the edge, not too much. Okay, I think we're good. I've got enough paint here. And here we go. Last little bit, so I don't need that last bit in the cup at all. I've got enough. Okay. Pop that back down. Is it level? I don't want to come back in 5 minutes and find I've lost what I thought I had. So I'm just looking very carefully now to see if I can see any more of the paint moving, because if I can, it might give me an indication of whether things are not level, if anything is expected to move off. Got a little drip going on over here, but I don't think it's major. I don't see a lot of movement. The paint's a bit thicker this time, so where before with my little mini canvas it kind of dripped down the edge and the edges of the canvas were just that little bit thin with paint, I had to recover them. This time with that little bit of PVA in there, it's looking good. Looking at the surface, it looks really smooth, not seeing any bubbles. I wonder whether I should torch. I didn't on my last one. I'm going to give it a go in just a tiny little area and see what happens, because after all this is an experiment, so let me see what happens. that was interesting. It doesn't seem to do anything at all. So I'm just going to tip it round this way because I've got a feeling it's coming towards this edge, and the paint looks a bit thicker on this edge than it is on that one. A little dab on my finger just there, a little dab. All the other edges look pretty good, a bit just here. Yeah, I think it's very good. Okay, so this cup I'm going to use for something else. I'm not sure what just yet. I'm going to put that to one side, and then this I'm going to leave completely undisturbed. It's interesting that torching it didn't seem to do anything, and I don't see any more cells popping up or developing in the same way that you might do with a regular paint, so that's interesting. But again, the sparkle in it, the cells, the way the colours all move in together, it looks fabulous. So let me bring the camera down and give you a few close-ups now. So here we go, it's all the detail. As we zoom in, it's difficult obviously for the camera to pick up the sparkle, and I've got a light there shining on it, which again is a bit distracting. But yeah, wow. And the blue this time, it was nice to add in that bit of blue. Before it was kind of coppers and golds and burgundy colour, but that little bit of blue running through it looks really nice. And over here, I've got a lot more of the gold. That's created a really interesting effect over that side. Wow, sparkle. So as usual, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll come back at the end of the video and show you it finished. Also, if you hang around to the end, I'll put a couple of links to those other videos that I did where it showed me mixing up the mica paints using my soap colorants, and showing the colour chart for those, and also the little mini pour that I did for that the test on the small canvas. See you later. So here it is now that it's finished. It's all dried and varnished. It was a little bit gritty, but now the varnish is on, you can still see a little bit of the gritty surface, but it's a lot smoother now than it was. I gave it 4 coats of varnish in the end, and it looks good. The glitter from the copper and the gold and the sparkle from the blue and everything looks really good. Again, you know, I'm not sure if that shows up on the camera, but this blue is really electric going through these other darker colours. Again, I really like it. I like the rich dark colours, and I like the composition and everything on this one. My husband is never so keen. He very much likes much lighter colours, but I think I'll do something in a lighter colour to satisfy him. But for now, this one definitely satisfies me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and that you'll check out my channel and go and look at some of the others. Hopefully you'll subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you'll get notified whenever there's any new videos posted. Thanks very much for watching.